So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Kreatryx. Welcome to Unacademy. So in these sessions, we are going to start the communication system and you are going to study the communication system like never before. So before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Soni and I have cleared ESE examination 2 times, both times in double-digit rank. And I have also served as a Group A gazetted officer in Indian Railways and in Indian Telecommunication Services. And I have also cleared a lot of public sector examinations. So right now I'm teaching on Unacademy and I really feel proud to be the part of the Unacademy team, because Unacademy is the revolution in the field of free education and in the field of affordable education, and we as a team are really looking forward for every student to just come onto the Unacademy platform. You can attend the special classes, you can come onto this YouTube channel and you can stay connected with us so that you can understand the quality education and you can understand the efforts that we are putting in, so that every student of this country, whether he stays in a village or he stays in a town, should get the access of the content, that too in a very affordable prices, and he can also or she can also clear the examination with the best possible ranks. So right now I'm teaching on Unacademy with more than 15 million watch minutes in the overall duration and 2 million watch minutes in the last 30 days. So I am right now the top educator in Unacademy across all the branches, having rank 4 right now. And you can also follow me on Unacademy on this particular link. So you can go and follow me on Unacademy. Apart from that, my advice to every student is that how should you crack the examination and what are the components to cracking the examination. So the first question that comes to the mind, that can anyone prepare from the YouTube? Yes, you can prepare from the YouTube, but you should develop or cultivate some habits in yourself. For example, you should be very much disciplined. You should arrange the extra resources. For example, the PDFs you have to arrange, the test series you have to arrange by yourself, and most importantly, that self-discipline you should be containing in yourself, so that you can be very corrective manner and you can approach the examination in the best possible manner. So all these things you have to arrange yourself. The sense of competitiveness you have to cultivate in yourself, because the audience on the YouTube are not that much of competitive in nature, or maybe you cannot feel the competition which is present right now. So all these things are the part of the journey if you want to prepare through the YouTube, or maybe if you want to prepare through the free resources. Apart from that, if you want that you should get complete content, then this is the YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel itself, all the free content are available. You just have to go to the playlist. All the subjects are completed there. You just have to go and watch all the lectures one by one. Definitely will be getting benefited. But the extra things that I have told you, that the self-discipline and the sense of competitiveness and a lot of things you have to arrange by yourself. If you are comfortable in that, then you can do that. Apart from that, you should also have Unacademy learning app, so that the special classes you can attend. A lot of educators in this country are actually providing the special classes, that too absolutely free of cost, so that you can get the quality content in the best possible manner. Apart from that, there is also another component for you, which is Unacademy Plus. So on Unacademy Plus, what is your job? You just have to study. If you join this Unacademy Plus, you do not have to worry about the crash courses, weekly test, doubt solving sessions, the language barrier, rank improvement batches, live classes. So all these things will be taken care by the Unacademy. You just have to take the Unacademy Plus subscription and you have to come on to the Unacademy. You will be daily getting the live classes. You will be getting the crash courses. When you will be getting the crash courses? When the syllabus are completed. You will be getting the weekly test in the form of quizzes. Every fourth class is the doubt solving session, which is the major you can say the component or the major impact will be creating on your studies will be this doubt solving group. Because until and unless your doubts are not being cleared, until and unless you are not able to clear your doubts, you will never get the confidence in the subject. So once you come on to this Unacademy Plus, every fourth class is doubt solving session. Apart from that, various other doubt solving sessions are going on. So ultimately you will be getting your doubts cleared and you will gain confidence in the subject. The language barrier will not be an issue, because the batches will be running both Hindi and in English, and rank improvement batches will also be there. So all these things are the component of this Plus subscription. Once you come on to this Unacademy Plus, you do not have to be worried about your self-discipline, your competitiveness nature. Everything will be present on Unacademy, because a lot of other students will be there. Since the classes will be live, you can also watch it recorded later on. So the discipline automatically comes, because you get the idea that you will be having the daily live classes. Apart from that, there is also one iconic subscription. In this iconic subscription, the game changer is this personal coach. So this subscription is for them who thinks that their basics are weak, or those who are talented but they needs a continuous push. So this personal coach will be guiding you throughout your study. He will be giving you the study planners. You will be getting the study booster sessions. Once you will get the test, you will be getting the analytics. Analytics plays a major role in improving yourself. We as a teacher also get our analytics so that we can improve on the daily basis. So once you start getting the analytics, you will be also improving massively on the daily basis. Apart from that, there will also be the guidance for the mains once you clear the prelims, and there will also. Hello friends, welcome to this lecture of communication system. So in the last lecture we studied about the frequency division multiplexing. In this lecture we will try to understand this time division multiplexing technique. So sometimes this time division multiplexing technique is also known as multi-input PCM scheme. So let us try to see the arrangement of this time division multiplexing. So in this case also, suppose we have three massive signals M1, M2 and M3. All of these signals will be band limited with the help of some anti-aliasing low pass filters. So these are the low pass filters. Now, if it would have been the case of the PCM, we could have simply placed a sampler here. But in this case, instead of sampler, we replace the sampler with device known as commutator. So this is your commutator. So this device is actually also acting as a sampler. And how it is acting as a sampler, let us try to understand. That this particular device has a rotating switch, and this rotating switch rotates. So this switch after the rotation may reach up to this position. After some time it will reach to this position. After some times it will reach to this position. So this device, let us see that this rotatory switch is starting at t equal to 0. So this particular device is known as commutator, or sometimes it is also called as electronic rotating switch. Electronic rotating switch. So what it will do, it will take the sample of this incoming signal at t equal to 0, then it will take its sample at t equal to some t1, and it will take sample of this signal at t equal to some t2. So suppose it is taking the sample of this particular signal at t equal to t1, it is taking the sample of this m2t at t equal to t2, and it is taking the sample of this m3t at t equal to t3. Then again in the next slot it will again perform the same operation. So as this particular switch rotates one complete rotation, it takes at least one sample of all the signals. Now in the next cycle it will again take the samples. So in this case it is taking the samples of the signal in the time domain. Then it is passed through the quantizer. Then the output of the quantizer is given to the encoder. Then with the help of line coder it is converted into bits. Sorry, it is converted into voltage pulses. Then it is transmitted to the receiver. We know that first block of the receiver will be a decoder, and output of the decoder is again connected to a decommutator. So this is your decommutator. Now decommutator performs the same operation but in the opposite direction. So it is also a rotatory switch, but it will rotate with the same speed in the opposite direction, which means these two commutators are synchronized with each other. These two commutators are synchronized with each other, which means the speed of the rotation is equal and opposite. So again the output which comes again given to the low pass filter, which will convert the samples to a continuous signal. If this low pass filter is ideal, so it will generate a staircase form of structure, otherwise it will generate a smoother waveform. So after this reconstruction filter or low pass filter, we can expect this output to be M1T,
this to be M2T, and this to be M3T. So this is the basic setup of your time division multiplexing technique. So now let us try to understand it, what is actually happening here. So suppose we have three signals. So this is one signal M1T, this is another signal M2T, and let us consider another signal M3T. So these are three signals. Now these three signals are simultaneously given to a commutator, and we know that what is a commutator? Commutator is a rotating device, so it will start rotating at t equal to 0. So it will take its sample at t equal to t1, at t equal to t2, and t equal to t3. So first of all, I am interested in the output of commutator. So how the output of the commutator will look like? So you can see, suppose this is the t1 instant, this is the t2 instant, and this is some t3 instant. So as soon as this switch will rotate, first of all at t equal to t1 it will take this sample value and it will reproduce it at its output. So at time t equal to t1, the sample of M1T is extracted, or this signal is sampled for this t equal to t1, and this sample is present at the output of the commutator. Similarly, as this rotates further, it takes this sample of t2. So this sample of t2 is produced at the output of the commutator. Now as soon as this switch reaches here, the time would have been t3, because time will keep increasing, so it will take its sample at t equal to t3. Now from here you can say that up to here one rotation of commutator is completed. So what will happen in the next step? So suppose I am considering that while completing in one rotation it is taking ts time. So ts is representing one rotation duration, or duration of one rotation. So obviously the next sample that it will take will be at t1 plus ts. Its next sample will be taken at t2 plus ts, and its next sample will be taken at t3 plus ts. So again you will have some different samples. So this becomes t1 plus ts, this becomes t2 plus ts, and it becomes t3 plus ts, and this happens in the second rotation. So as soon as it rotates, it takes the samples of each incoming signal at its output, and at one rotation it takes all the samples of one signal. So in one rotation it takes one samples of each incoming signal. In the second rotation also it will take one sample of each incoming signal. So this is the output of the commutator. So you can see the output of commutator is nothing but the sampled values of all the signals. So it has taken the sampled values of all the signals and presented it simultaneously. So sometimes you can also say that it has multiplexed the sample values in time domain. So what it is doing, in one rotation it is multiplexing the three sample values in one rotation, then in the second rotation it will again multiplex the three sample values, and so on. So it is simultaneously taking the sample values or multiplexing the sample values in every rotation. So what will be the quantizer's output? We know that quantizer's output will be nothing but it will assign it to a predefined level, this will be also assigned to a predefined level, and so on. So each sample values which is present here now will be assigned to a predefined level. So how the quantizer's output will look like? The output of quantizer. So you can say the output of quantizer will look like this. So the signals which were present now will be mapped to some predefined level. So let us, these are the predefined levels. I'm just roughly making the sketch. This is T1, T2, T3, and now these samples are quantized samples. Now these samples are quantized sample. So it becomes T1 plus TS, T2 plus TS, T3 plus TS, and this again will represent your one rotation, and time of one rotation we know that is TS. All these sample values will come in the second rotation. So time of this will be TS. Now the most important thing is now what is the encoder's output. We know that the output of the encoder will be in the form of bits, or it will assign a unique binary code to each of the quantized level, and based upon that each incoming signal will be assigned a binary code. So suppose it is assigning this pulse the binary code as 00, it is as 01, it is as 10. So you can see that the output of the encoder will be 00, 01, 10. So this 00 code is given to the sample value of T1. This 01 is given to the sample value at T2, and it is given to the sample value at T3. And we know that in one complete rotation it will collect all the signals, and after collecting the sample of all the signals it will be presenting the sample values, and the quantizer will quantize each value, the encoder will encode this value. So in one complete rotation or in one TS duration, you can say that in this particular rotation, in this particular duration, it is representing the one complete rotation, and this one complete rotation occupies all the sampled values. So if there are 3 sampled values, so this duration is TS. Now if you will assign binary codes to them, so again this duration is again going to be TS, because this is representing one rotation, but now this duration can be linked with this bit duration. So here you will have total 6 bits, or you can say that this sampling interval is representing your 6 bits. So the duration of this particular 2 bits will become 2b, the duration of this bits will become 2b, and duration of these 2 bits will become 2b. So whenever you will line code them, this 00 will have duration of 2b, this 01 will have duration of 2b, and this 10 will also have duration of 2b. Then what will happen? Then again it will be assigned, say some 01, it is assigned 00, it is assigned 10. So 01, 00, 10. So in one complete rotation it has 3 samples, and each 3 samples are now encoded by the encoder. So overall duration remains same, because in TS duration only you are taking all the samples, then you are encoding it. So this is the case in the second rotation. Now here also you can see this duration will be 2 TB, this duration will also be 2 TB, and this duration will also be 2 TB. So the structure that is coming here, this particular structure is known as frame. So whenever the quantized sample value in one rotation are encoded, they form a stream of binary data in the duration TS, and that stream of binary data in the duration TS is known as a frame. So what is a frame? A frame in case of TDMA is nothing but it represents the binary stream in TS duration or in one frame interval. So you can say that the frame time or the duration of frame is same as the sampling duration. So the sampling duration or the duration of one rotation comes out to be TS. So what is TS in this case? TS will become 2 TB plus 2 TB plus 2 TB, or it will become 6 TB. So I can also write it as 3 into 2 into TB. What is this 3? It is the number of signals being multiplexed. So it is the number of signals being multiplexed. What is 2 here? 2 is number of bits per sample, and TB is nothing but your bit duration. So if I have to generalize this particular TS, so I can write it as capital N into small n into TB. So this represents your sampling interval or frame duration or duration of one rotation. So what is N here? It represents number of message signals to be multiplexed. This small n represents number of bits per sample, and this TB represents your bit duration. So you can also calculate bitrate from here. Bitrate will become 1 by TB, and 1 by TB can be written as TS upon n into small n, or you can write it as n into small n into Fs. So bit rate in this case becomes capital N into small n into Fs. So let me define this TS. This TS becomes, it is the time taken by the commutator, to complete one rotation, It is also known as frame time or sampling interval. Now what you can say that if we are considering the duration of TS second, so in TS second there is one rotation of the commutator. So in 1 second you can say that there will be 1 by TS rotations per second. So you can also calculate the speed of commutator. The speed of the commutator comes out to be 1 by TS rotations per second, and this 1 by TS can be written as Fs rotation per second. Now if I have to convert it into rotation per minute, so I can write Fs into 60 and it will become rotation per minute, or you can also call it as Fs into 60 RPM. And whenever you have to calculate Fs, you must first of all calculate Ts, then you should take its inverse. And what will be the transmission bandwidth? So the transmission bandwidth in this case will become RB by 2. So you must calculate the RB, then you must divide it by 2. So let us also discuss different cases in case of TDM. So in the case 1, I am considering let capital N number of message signals are band limited to same frequency. They are band limited to same frequency, which means if you have your signal M1T, M2T up to MNT, so all these signals are band limited to same frequency. So if all these signals are band limited to same frequency, so in this case what we can say that in one frame one frame, one sample of each signal will come. So 1, 2, 3 up to n. Now I'm considering that this particular frame's duration obviously will be ts, which will be one rotation time, and I am assuming that for each sample it is using n bits per sample. So this sample will also be represented by n bits and n bits. So it is using n bits per sample. So from here you can calculate what will be this ts. Ts will be nothing but there are n signals and each signal is using n bits per sample. So the duration of this will become ntb, duration of this particular bit stream will become ntb, and duration of this particular bit stream will become ntb. So this will become ntb plus ntb up to capital N times. So this ts in this case becomes capital N small n into tb. So for the case 1, the formulas that we can write is, the first formula you can write is ts, and it comes out to be capital N small n into tb. Second formula you can write for bandwidth, for bitrate, it becomes capital N small n into fs. Third formula you can write for the bandwidth, which is the minimum bandwidth obviously. So a minimum transmission bandwidth comes out to be rb by 2, and the speed of the commutator comes out to be fs into 60 rpm. And now fs is nothing but the sampling rate. So in this case you can calculate the sampling rate. So it will have also sampling rate of fs, it will also have sampling rate of fs, it will also have sampling rate of fs. So you can take this fs from any one of these. Based upon that you can also calculate the speed of the commutator. So now let us try to solve the question. In this question it is saying that 20 signals are band limited to 5 kHz, which means capital N is given as 20 and each signal is band limited to 5 kHz. So FM can be considered as 5 kHz. Now they are time division multiplexed. Now the time taken by the commutator to make one complete rotation is 250 microseconds, which means the information about TS is given as 250 microseconds. And each quantized sample is encoded by using 8 bits per sample. So this n will become 8 bits per sample. So we have to calculate the transmission bandwidth and speed of the commutator. So we know that first of all we have to calculate the bit rate. So the bit rate will become capital N small n into fs, and fs we know that will be equal to 1 by ts. So from here you can calculate this rb equal to 20 into 8 by 250 microseconds. So this rb comes out to be 640 kilohertz, and the minimum transmission bandwidth in this case becomes 640k by 2, or you can write it as 320 kilohertz. This was the first case. Second, what will be the speed of the commutator? So the speed of the commutator in this case will become equal to fs, and this fs is given in the problem, which will be 1 by ts, and it can be written as 1 by 250 microseconds, or it becomes 4 kilo samples per second. Now if you will multiply it by 60, so it will become 60 into 4 kilo rpm, or it can be written as 240 kilo rpm. So this is the speed of the commutator in this case. Now let us discuss the second case. In the second case we are considering that when capital N number of message signals are band limited to same frequency, and small x number of synchronization, small x number of synchronization bits are added at the end of the each frame. At the end of the each frame. So what you can do, again you have n message signals, so in one time duration, which is the duration of TS, it will have n samples. So this is your message signals 1, 2, 3 up to n. In each duration you will have one sample, and it is again using this n number of bits per sample to represent each sample value. Now this was the case in the previous case. Now in this case what it is doing, it is also adding x bits per sample, or it is using x number of synchronization bits at the end of this particular expression. So this overall expression will represent this TS. So in one frame you have n samples and the corresponding bits with respect to the samples, which means if each sample is encoded by the encoder, so the encoder will assign n number of bits per sample or n bits to each of the sample. Along with that, this x bits are also added for the synchronization with the decommutator. So in this case, if you will write your TS, so this TS will become this we already know that it has n number of sample values and each sample value uses small n number of bits. So overall it will become small n capital N into TB, because this duration will also be NTB, this duration will become NTB, this duration also becomes NTB, and this duration will become XTB. So finally this X will also gets added to it. So from here you get the frame duration and it comes out to be capital N small n into X into TB. So the formulas get modified in this case, and the modified formulas can be written as the frame duration or the rotation time becomes capital N into small n plus X into Fs, RB. Second formula you can write, your RB will become, this will become TB. So your RB will become capital N plus N into Fs. Third, the bandwidth will becomes RB by 2, and the speed of the commutator in this case also remains Fs into 60 RPM. Now what are the modifications that you can do in this case is, if X is given bits per frame, so the formula becomes capital N into small n into X TB. Sometimes this X can also be given as it is in X number of bits added per 2 frame. So you can equally divide it in each frame, it will become X by 2 TB. Sometimes the information is given that X is in bits per 3 frame, which means in 3 frames X bit are added. So you can consider that in one frame 1/3 of bits will be added. So in this way this formula gets modified. So now let us try to solve an example of this type. So let us read the question. In this question it is saying that the message signals are band limited to 3.5 kilohertz, and here it is given 10 message signals. It is missing here. You complete the question. So 10 message signals are band limited to 3.5 kilohertz. So there are 10 message signals and each message signals are band limited to 3.5 kilohertz. Now it is sampled at 8 kilohertz. So the sampling rate is given as 8 kilohertz, which means in this case the information of TS is not given. Directly it is given as the sampling rate. So it will become 1 by TS. Now they are time division multiplexed by using 64 level quantizers. So L is given as 64. We know that L is less than or equal to 2 power n, and from here you can get the minimum value of n, which comes out to be 6 bits per sample. So n in this case coming out to be 6. Now it also requires 5 synchronous bits every alternate frame. So this is very important statement, that it is saying that it is using 5 synchronous bits, but every alternate frame it is using. So in this case we are interested in the calculation of transmission bandwidth. So first of all we will calculate the bit rate. So bit rate in this case will become capital N into small n, and value of x is given as 5 bits alternate frame, or we can say that per 2 frame. So we will use capital N small n into x by 2 into fs. So this will give us RB equal to capital N becomes 10, small n we calculated as 6, it becomes 5 by 2 into 8k, and this calculation comes out to be 500 kbps. So the bandwidth you can write RB by 2, and it comes out to be 250 kilohertz. So whenever synchronization bits are given, we have already developed the formula. You just have to see whether it is given 5 synchronous bits every frame, every alternate frame, every 3 frame, and so on. So such type of language it will use. Now let us consider the third case. In the third case again, it is using n number of signals, and these are band limited to same frequency and y percentage of synchronization bits, are added. It means whenever such type of statements are given, so you should understand that y percentage of total number of bits are added. So in this case also you have n signals, so it will give you the n samples, and each sample will be denoted by small n bits. So it will become like this. So this is first, second, third, this is n, and this is the place for synchronization bits. So in one complete rotation, which is the duration of TS, you will get one sample of each signal, and encoder will assign n bits to each. So it will assign n bits to each sample values. So this duration becomes NTB, this also becomes NTB, this duration becomes NTB, this duration becomes NTB, and overall duration from here to here you can write it capital and small n into TB. Now finally it is adding synchronization bits, which is y percentage of capital N small n into TB. So this is the total percentage. So what will be the TS in this case? The frame duration, or the TS in this case, will become capital N small n into TB plus capital N small n into y percentage by 100. This will be TS, and once the TS is known, you can calculate the bit rate from here, and bit rate comes out to be small n capital N into Fs 1 plus y percentage by 100. So this will be the bit rate, and obviously the bandwidth will become RB by 2. So now let us try to solve one question based upon the given data. So in this question, the 5 telemetry signals are band limited to 10 kilohertz. So this capital N is given as 5 and this FM is given as 10 kilohertz. Now it is being transmitted by this PCM TDM combination, and it is also given that the maximum tolerable error in the signal amplitude. So we consider that the signal amplitude of any one of the signal is sinusoidal. So I can consider it as AM 2 cos 2 pi FMT. So I am considering any one of the message signal which is having amplitude as this. So the maximum tolerable error, which is, we know that delta by 2, so it should be less than or equal to 0.5% of peak amplitude of the signal. So it becomes 0.5% of AM. So you can write delta by 2 as 0.5 by 100 into AM. So what will be the delta? Delta is nothing but dynamic range upon total number of quantization levels, and dynamic range of sinusoidal signals becomes 2 AM by L. So you can write it as 2am by 2l, and it should be equal to am by 200. So from here you can get this L should be greater than or equal to 200. We know that L is less than or equal to 2 power n. So we can replace this L with 2 power n. And from here you can get the minimum value of n as 8 bits per sample. So this data was given to calculate the value of n. Now, along with that, it is also given that the signal is sampled at 20% above Nyquist rate. So what will be the sampling rate? The sampling rate will become Nyquist rate plus 20% of Nyquist rate. So it becomes 1.2 times of Nyquist rate. So the Nyquist rate becomes 1.2 into 2 into F max. So sampling rate will become 1.2 into 2, and maximum frequency component of each message signal is given. In this particular case, you can consider it as 10 kilohertz. So this sampling rate comes out to be 24 kilosamples per second. Now let me calculate the bit rate. So the bit rate will become, in this case, capital N into small n. Capital N into small n into Fs into 1 plus y percentage by 100. So in this case it is given that we are adding 0.5% of extra bits. So it will become capital N is given as 5, small n we calculated as 8, Fs you calculated as 24k, and it becomes 0.5%. So we will write 0.5 by 100, and from there here bitrate comes out to be 964.8 kbps. Now let's come on to the last case. So this is your case 4. So in this case, let us consider that n number of message signals are band limited to different frequencies. Now in this case they are band limited to different frequencies. So whenever they are band limited to different frequencies, it means you have signal M1T, it has frequency FM1, and its sampling rate will now be different. Similarly, you have M2T, this is your FM2, and sampling rate of this signal will also be different. Similarly, you will have MNT, since its maximum frequency component is different, so its sampling rate will also get different. So in this case, what you should do, you should calculate the bit rate. We know that when all the signals were band limited to same frequency, so the bit rate was something like this. So this could have also been written as NFS up to n times. So it means you basically written individual bit rates and added them in order to get the bit rate of TDM. So here also you can do the same thing. Instead of writing the complete bit rate, you can write the individual bit rates, and later on you can get added to it. So it will become NFS1 plus NFS2 plus NFS3 up to n times. So a bit rate is known, so you can also calculate the bandwidth, and the bandwidth in this case becomes RB by 2. And one important parameter, that if speed of commutator is asked in this case, so the speed of commutator you can calculate as HCF of FS1 FS2, because now the sampling rate is different, so you should take HCF of this FS1 FS2 in order to obtain the speed of the commutator. So now let us try to solve the question based upon this case. Now, in this case, it is saying, it is given that it is TDM multiplexing system and it uses 256 levels. So L is given as 256. It should be less than or equal to 2 power n, or the minimum value of n you can get from here is n bits, 8 bits per sample. Now, for the transmission, 3 signals are band limited to some 5 kHz. So one signal M1T, it is band limited to 5 kHz. Another signal M2T, it is also band limited to 10 kHz. Another signal you have M3T, it is band limited to 5 kHz, and each signal is sampled at Nyquist rate. So it will be sampled at Nyquist rate. So the FS1 will become 10 kHz. From here FS2 will become 20 kHz, and this FS3 will become again 10 kHz. Now, and it is encoded into 8 bits. So it is also given that it is 256 levels, so obviously it will be encoded by using 8 bits. Now we have to calculate the bit rate. So to calculate the bit rate, you individually have to calculate bit rates. So it will become NFS1 plus NFS2 plus NFS3. So since n is 8 here, so it becomes 10k plus 20k plus 10k, or the bit rate in this case is coming out to be 320 kbps, or if bandwidth is being asked, we know that the minimum transmission bandwidth will be RB by 2, or it becomes 160 kilohertz. So basically in TDM, these 4 types of cases are possible, and if question comes in any one of the 4 cases, so you must be able to answer that how to solve the questions of TDM based upon the different cases. So thank you.
So hopefully we have understood every concept in this class. If you have any doubt in any concept, you can let me know in the comment section. I'll try to resolve that thing. Apart from that, you can also follow me on various social media platforms. For example, you can join this Telegram group where you will be getting important notification, important updates. This is Telegram group where you can also comment, you can ask your queries, or maybe you can also suggest me for the improvement. Apart from that, this is my Unacademy profile. On this Unacademy profile, you should also follow me so that you can get the important updates of the Unacademy also, right? And this is the Notion page. You just have to type this tiny.cc/VishalGate. So you will be redirected to a page where all the special classes are arranged very systematically. तो मैंने बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स पे स्पेशल क्लास ले रखी है. फॉर एग्जांपल नाइक्विस्ट, फूरियर सीरीज, latches and flip flop, double integrations, okay, lot of things are there. So you will be getting all these concepts absolutely free of cost. You just have to type this in your URL. You will be redirected to that page and attend these lectures one by one. You will be getting a next level confidence in these topics that I can guarantee you. Now this is the Notion page of your YouTube, on which you will be getting the links of the YouTube. Apart from that, you will be also getting the PDFs of that particular lecture. So this is very important for you, and just you have to type http://bit.ly/GateLive. So GateLive, you just have to type it in the capital so that you can access all the lectures link and PDF arranged systematically. So if you want to attend or you want to clear the examination with the free resource, then this is the channel for you. This is the best recorded videos which has been ever made. You just have to go to that lecture, just click the link and download the PDF and start studying systematically. So we have also done this for you so that any student, whether he is sitting any part of this country, should not face the difficulty in cracking the examination, whether he can afford or he cannot. Now if you can afford, then the subscription prices are not something which you cannot pay. It is very nominal amount which you can pay, and you can just avoid all the distractions, all the time wastage which we will be doing in downloading those PDFs, arranging for the test series, and a lot of other things that you have to arrange, doubt solvings you have to arrange by yourself. If you want to avoid all those distractions in a very nominal amount, so you can go for the Unacademy Plus subscription. For 12-month subscription, you have to pay only 74 rupees per day. Apart from that, for 18-month subscription, which is the best possible subscription, you have to pay 63 rupees per day. It is even lesser than the pizzas that you order on your home. So it is that much of amount that can shape your career, that can give you the best possible rank in the examinations under the guidance of the best teachers of the country, which has been right now placed on the Unacademy. Now 24-month subscription will cost you 54 rupees per day. So these subscription amounts will give you the subscription for the desired period. Apart from that, if you are using this code, you just have to remember this code, write my name, write GATE after it. You can also write ESE after it. So you have to write my name and write ESE after it. So any one of these code, once you apply, you will be immediately getting the 10% discount. You will be getting all the features of the Unacademy. You will be getting the guidance of all the teachers present on Unacademy, and everything you will be getting that is needed to crack the examination once you are using this code. So if you think we are working hard, we are giving our best content, we are giving the free content absolutely for you guys, and everything that is needed for every student to crack the examination. So never forget to use this code whenever you are taking the subscription. So this code is very important and you have to use every time you are taking the subscription. Now, those who are interested for the prices, total price amount. So let me tell you, total price is 27,225 for 12 months, 34,650 for 18, and for 24 months it is 39,600. You can also pay this by using zero cost EMI. Zero cost EMI can be paid by credit card and debit card. In debit cards, there are only Bajaj and HDFC as of now available. Okay, so this zero cost EMI means you do not have to pay anything extra. Any interest is not, you should not pay, and you have to pay this much of amount on the daily basis if you are looking for the zero cost EMI option. Apart from that, if you are coming for Iconic subscription, so Iconic mein, I have already told you that your personal coach will be the game changer. He will be he will be basically following you to give you the guidance so that you can get the success in a very short span of time. So he will be following you, he will be pushing you every time. Now, once you use this coupon code, this will be costing you around 45,225, and if you are using this coupon code, write my name, GATE after it, you will be getting the 24-month subscription of Iconic in 66,600 rupees. Fine. Apart from that, every one of you should follow this GATE aspirant group, and there also some important notification always comes. Now, what are the YouTube channels that you should immediately subscribe? This Kreatryx, this is the channel on which you are present. This is Unacademy GATE questions, where previous year questions has been solved by the educators. So you'll be getting all the previous year questions video solution apart from the PDF also. This is the Electrical Junction channel, where you will be getting the important concepts of ECE and electrical. And this is Engineering Pathshala, where you will be getting some practical aspect of the videos, some animated videos that will enhance your ability to think. So these are the channels which you should immediately subscribe so that you can get a better content. Fine. Now these are my some YouTube videos which I have created for you. In all of these videos will give you some motivation, guidance, content, and some strategy. So these are hand-picked videos. You can immediately follow these videos. Okay. So thank you so much. And those who are coming on this channel, immediately share all the content which is present on this channel. We are working very hard for you guys. So this is your responsibility that you should share this channel. You should subscribe this channel. Also share the link of this channel, link of the videos, link of the educator whom you follow, so that every student who is needy, they can come onto this channel and they can get the best possible rank. So all the best everyone. Let's crack it.